that's going on, should we talk about this next fight? This next matchup?
Yep.
I don't think they're in the fight yet, but it is going to be MMAFRoO returning here to the ESFL, man. He's not had many appearances, but when he has, they've been straight fire. He's taking on HAMMY here tonight. So this is going to be a great matchup. If you don't know HAMMY or HAMMY or however he likes his name to be said, I always ruin it anyway, is a very, very competent grappler taking on MMAFRoO here, who was the winner of the last official UFC EA Sports tournament, who has been here in the ESFL putting on some good fights. So this is good to see Fro showing up here on the ESFL 50 as well and taking on a grappler this time around. So we know he's predominantly a striker, can grapple as well, mixes his game up. But I'm excited to see this one. HAMMY, such a veteran, man. I think he may have been on the ESFL 1, and Fro coming in slightly later to the game, but always putting a good performance here. So I don't know. You guys excited about seeing this matchup? Come on.
I'm absolutely ecstatic because, you know, MMAFRoO is a legend that is, you know, coming back and maybe dusting the rust off in this fight, seeing if he could still go through a training camp, see if he still has what it takes to compete with ESFL competitors. And this is a chance for HAMMY to come in here and take out a name, because everybody knows, most people in the community know, who MMAFRoO TV is. So this is very, I mean, it's very early in the card, but this is a very key fight for both these guys.
Yeah, man, it's good.
Yeah, like you guys said, MMAFRoO definitely a big name. Definitely was a big fighter in UFC too. A fellow YouTuber. So I'm definitely excited to see what MMAFRoO has to bring to the competitive scene here. I know he's competed on the highest level. It's a guy that competed in Vegas in the UFC 2 tournament. So I want to see what that high level experience is going to bring here to the ESFL. And Hammer looks like they might do a Nate Diaz pickup here versus Tony Ferguson.
Great matchup.
This is going to be one of very good matchup here between two competitive fighters. And then let's see who they pick here. Seems like Hammer is thinking about who he wants to pick. Seems like Fro is set on Tony Ferguson.
I mean, Tony Ferguson, well-rounded, and that's brilliant. He knows who he's fighting. He knows he's fighting HAMMY. He knows he's fighting a grappler. Tony can do it all. If he goes to the mat, if he gets on his back, he can compete on the ground aggressively and defensively as well. So that's a great pickup. But he's gone with the Nate Diaz pick. So this is, I mean, we're seeing the grapplers pick strikers tonight. Because, well, technically Diaz is still a grappler, but his takedowns aren't the best. So initiating that grappler and getting it to the mat is going to be a lot harder. But we're seeing all the bloody grapplers pick strikers tonight. We saw double mat earlier. Quick thing, I just want to say, we will let you know I mean, everyone, you know, who's a fighter on here tonight is obviously world-class, best of the best. But some of these guys have YouTube channels where you can follow them. We highly encourage you to follow as many of these guys as you can, because they put out great content. And there's much support as we can get for the UFC, for community, just moving forward for everyone is excellent. So MMAFRoO, check him out on YouTube, as well as everyone else who we'll announce tonight as well, okay? Because we have two of the biggest YouTubers fighting in the co-main event this evening. Mr. Ricky J Sports taking on Marshall Mind, guys, all right? So just support as much content as you can.
I can't wait. And as Bruce Buffer announces these guys, Nate Diaz, I mean, we all know about his 1-2. It's slick, it's fast. Tony Ferguson and Nate Diaz, both very good off their back. Similar fighters in the game. Great stamina for both these guys. This is going to be a very even matchup.
MMAFRoO.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Both of these fighters, 90s across the board in all facets of the game. Striking, grappling, stamina, and health. All 90s plus. And both of these fighters have 5 perks apiece. So it's a lot of talent across the board. This is just going to come down to who's the better player tonight. And let's see how these guys mix it up. But one thing that I'm looking for in with both of these fighters have the higher altitude perk, but Nate Diaz has the higher altitude level 5. Tony Ferguson only has level 4. So let's see if they make it to that third round. Let's see how the stamina increase will be more for Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. But here it is. You guys are already into the fight.
All right, man. We'll see how it goes. See how they feel it out.
Nice double jab right off the bat, Bay.
Yeah, beautiful job to circle to the outside there as well, using that switch pivot. The pressure's going to come for Fro. He knows it, trying to hit that lead.
Ooh, good combo.
Inside elbow, I guess, but beautiful teep right down the pipe as well. Overhand, which we talked about.
Big overhand.
Beautiful job grabbing the clinch off that as well. It's exactly what you want to do. You want to mix out those big strikes. That's Sambo 101.
Niles in the clinch.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man, Fro very well versed, knows what he's doing, can fight everywhere as well. Both of these guys, adamant professionals, you know, in the way that they compete and the way that they treat themselves.
Good fake.
Yeah, nice fake inside of that clinch and going the other way and getting a break. Now they're right back out. Look at that nice left hand.
Nice little pouring.
Coming out.
Double jab.
And Yeshwan is looking to use his movement to get away from that double jab from MMAFRoO here.
Yeah, lots of forward pressure. Nice. Planted that roundhouse. Didn't even step into it. Knew he was in range, threw it. Read the movement of Yeshwan circling off to that right well. Didn't have to step forward, just threw it out there, planted it nicely. And the good thing about Diaz and Tony, really, these guys, you can fight going anyway. You can fight moving backwards. You can fight circling off with your 1-2. So Yeshwan's taking advantage of that. Nice straight lead hook. Yeah, good job right there. Beating up that body, straight down the pipe. Ooh, really mixing it up here, Fro.
I'm seeing both of these fighters being real creative with their striking. Sometimes they're leading with the jab. Sometimes they're leading going down low. Let's see if one of these fighters can throw an uppercut here whenever their opponent goes down low. But they're being very creative with their striking right now.
Definitely. It seems like MMAFRoO is kind of found his stride a little bit early. Maybe Yeshwan's still trying to find his range, trying to find his rhythm, but MMAFRoO is picking him apart. Nice knee here. And he's got control of that octagon, Bailey, and he's continually cutting off Yeshwan here.
Yeah, both fighters doing a real good job landing the 1-2s to the body, and now some big kicks coming out. I have to watch them uppercuts from both these guys, and both using that double jab as well. You just see them repeat back there. 1-1, 1-4 into the hook, again 1-4 with the hook. Big hook to the body, left hook to the top. So Fro, man, getting those power shots off, but look at the quick return right there. That's what I mean. He threw that moving backwards, the 1-2-1, stepping off and around. And he's circling in the right direction away right now. He's circling away from that leg kick. Off that rear leg. Eats it there.
Ooh. Oh, big rock there.
There it is.
Just getting ready to say, Fro is finding a place for his body combos, and he's not getting, but he also still got rocked. But there it is. Gets
ran right into that head kick. And he's in all sorts of trouble right now. This could be it.
Oh, man. That's beautiful. Beautiful work.
I did not see that coming,
mate,
bro.
He tried to set that up about 30 seconds prior to that because of the direction Yeshwan was circling, always coming off to that right-hand side. And you could see him throw it a little bit short earlier on there. You saw him throw it over the top a little earlier, but he was always stepping out and using that pivot lunge, man. He ducked under that lead hook earlier on in the fight, so you could tell, man, Fro made that read nice and early and quick, coming up top with that lead head kick just as he circled off. He knew after he threw that punch combo, he's been finishing that combo with the right hand, finished off with the right hand. Yesh thought the combo was over, but as he steps out, that lead head kick came up and caught him right on the outside. So it's a great read by Fro on that high chin stat of Nate Diaz there, and then just punished him, boys, for the finish, man. Good work.
Wow. And one thing with Hammer, I'm wondering if he tried to get off of the cage, because usually the first time that you get put on the cage from a knockdown, usually you have a time to recover. It's usually on the second and the third when the fight's over with. So I'm definitely surprised that fight was over with the first time that we saw him get knocked down against the cage. However, this was the night for MMAFRoO. Definitely a great job. Congratulations to both of those fighters. Interesting matchup, interesting fight. Two talented fighters. Yeah, that was a great fight.
A beautiful fight. I mean, to finish a Nate Diaz in the first round, that's amazing. And that lead head kick, like you said, Bailey, and while Yeshwan was trying to escape off the cage, I mean, that just did so much damage. And then those two hooks, breaks that block, knocks him down. And to get that early finish, I mean, what a performance right there. I mean, that is a beautiful KO, an early KO, and who knows, knockout of the night. That's something that we're going to be looking at.
I've got it down so far, my knockout of the night, just because of the surgical, the finish, the fact that he made the read on his opponent early in the first round. And as soon as he got him hurt, he finished the fight. You know, there might be some crazy flash KO. There might be a better one than that. But for me right now, that's the KO of the night. Purely because of the intelligence behind it and the execution of the finish. I've hurt you, that's it. Fight's over. There's no recovery. It's done. Round 1. Good fight. That's it.
100%. Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right.
Good job.
Wow.